The View is off the air, finally.
As we come to the end of Black History Month, we want to take another look at everyone that we've honored this year.
It was a quiet and uneventful day in the world of celebrity news when an explosive revelation sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. In an unexpected turn of events, the FBI carried out a high-profile raid on the estate of none other than Whoopi Goldberg. Yes, you heard that right. Whoopi Goldberg, the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony-winning actress and cultural icon, suddenly found herself at the center of what can only be described as one of the most shocking and mysterious developments of the year. But what exactly did they uncover? And how does this connect to the tangled web of secrets surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's infamous legacy?
People online are split about this.
Picture this: a convoy of black SUVs and unmarked vehicles quietly rolled up to Whoopi Goldberg's sprawling estate under the cover of early morning light. Residents in the area reported seeing law enforcement agents swarming the property, moving with purpose and precision. Witnesses described the scene as something straight out of a high-stakes crime thriller. Dressed in dark suits, some agents carried evidence cases, while others wielded state-of-the-art equipment as they methodically entered the gates of the luxurious mansion. The operation was swift yet thorough, leaving no stone unturned. The FBI's sudden interest in Goldberg's estate immediately raised eyebrows. After all, this is a woman who has spent decades in the spotlight, known for her bold opinions, groundbreaking performances, and her role as co-host on The View. But the intrigue only deepened when inside sources hinted at what the agents were after and what they ultimately discovered. According to rumors swirling in the aftermath of the raid, agents seized a treasure trove of items, each more baffling than...
This is Jeffrey Epstein, multimillionaire, hedge fund manager, businessman with famous, powerful friends, and also convicted offender.
Almost immediately, whispers began circulating that the raid was somehow linked to the still unfolding saga of Jeffrey Epstein. The disgraced financier's name has haunted headlines for years, and his infamous client list remains the subject of endless speculation. Could it be that evidence found at Goldberg's estate somehow connects her to Epstein's shadowy network? The mere suggestion sent social media into a frenzy, with theories ranging from somewhat plausible to downright outrageous. Some speculated that Goldberg may have inadvertently come into possession of sensitive information about Epstein through her deep Hollywood connections. Others wondered if she had been caught in the crosshairs of a much larger investigation targeting influential figures in entertainment and politics. But what exactly was found during the raid? While the FBI has remained tight-lipped about the specifics, leaks from individuals close to the investigation have painted a picture that is as intriguing as it is unsettling. Allegedly, agents uncovered a collection of handwritten notes and correspondence that could potentially shed light on Epstein's connections to powerful figures across various industries. Even more shocking were reports of encrypted files on electronic devices seized from Goldberg's home. Experts suggest these files could contain...
The list mentions around 150 people, including politicians, celebrities, friends, business associates, and alleged victims.
Adding fuel to the fire, a source claimed that agents also retrieved several personal items that seemed oddly out of place. These included what were described as curiosities, objects that some believe could hold symbolic or even coded meanings. What exactly these items were remains unclear, but their mysterious nature has only deepened the intrigue surrounding the raid. Was Goldberg knowingly harboring such material? Or was she merely an unwitting participant in a much larger narrative? As the story continued to unfold, all eyes naturally turned to Whoopi Goldberg herself. How did she react to this sudden and very public intrusion into her private life? According to reports, Goldberg was at home when the raid took place and appeared visibly stunned as events unfolded. While she has yet to make an official public statement, insiders claim she has been consulting with her legal team to determine the best course of action. Her silence, of course, has only fueled speculation.
I want to get into this Epstein thing a little bit. I think the American people are very curious about who's on this list, or these lists. You have been doggedly trying to get all the information. And now we learn, thanks to you, that you've been stonewalled by people in New York.
One thing is certain. The raid has cast a long shadow over Whoopi Goldberg's legacy. Known for her no-nonsense attitude and her fearless approach to tackling tough topics, Goldberg now finds herself at the center of a story that has captivated the public's imagination. Her critics, unsurprisingly, have seized the opportunity to question her integrity, while her supporters have rallied to her defense, urging people not to jump to conclusions. The divide in public opinion has been stark, with some calling for patience and a fair investigation, while others demand immediate answers. The media, as expected, has been having a field day. Major outlets have dedicated wall-to-wall coverage to the story, each trying to outdo the other with exclusive details and expert analysis. Meanwhile, tabloids have taken a far more sensationalist approach, with headlines like, "What was Whoopi hiding?" and "Hollywood's darkest secret revealed," splashed across.
Yes, Mark. So as you know, we released about 120 pages of documents, and I started asking for these documents right when I came into office and before Kash Patel was in there.
But it's not just the media and the public who are reacting. This story has sent shockwaves through Hollywood itself. Goldberg's colleagues and peers have remained uncharacteristically silent, likely wary of being dragged into the fallout. However, a few notable figures have spoken out, some expressing their unwavering support for Goldberg, calling her a trailblazer and a woman of integrity, while others have taken a more cautious stance, emphasizing the need for due process and a fair investigation. The entertainment industry, already reeling from a string of high-profile scandals in recent years, is now bracing itself for whatever revelations may come next. And then, there's the bigger question: could the materials found at Goldberg's estate provide the missing puzzle pieces investigators have been searching for in the Epstein case? If so, the implications could be staggering. The Epstein saga has long been shrouded in secrecy, with countless unanswered questions about the extent of his network and the identities of those involved.
So I ended up getting about 120 pages. We carefully redacted them, of course, to be sure the 254 young girls, women who are victims of crimes of trafficking, their personal information was redacted and out of there to protect them.
As the dust settles, one thing is clear. This story is far from over. The FBI raid on Whoopi Goldberg's estate has opened a Pandora's box of questions, each more compelling than the last. What was really found during the search? How does it connect to Jeffrey Epstein's dark web of secrets? And, perhaps most importantly, what does this mean for Goldberg's future and the futures of those whose names may yet come to light? With so many unanswered questions and loose threads, the world can only watch and wait as this high-stakes drama continues to unfold. But here's where things take an even darker and more mysterious turn. Rumors are now swirling that the evidence seized during the raid could implicate not just Goldberg, but other high-profile individuals as well. Could this be just the tip of the iceberg? Could the raid on Goldberg's estate be the
And I kept saying, there has to be more, there has to be more. I'm assured that's it. Kash asked the same questions. Assured there's no more. I found out, this week that a source told me New York, SDNY, they're sitting on thousands of pages of documents regarding Epstein. Thousands.
And just like that, the raid on Whoopi Goldberg's estate had become the center of a swirling storm that no one saw coming. The world was left holding its breath, waiting for the next shocking revelation. But if you thought the initial findings were enough to end the story, think again. This was just the beginning of an unraveling narrative that would send ripples far beyond the gates of Goldberg's opulent mansion. The implications were bigger than anyone could have anticipated, with far-reaching consequences for her career, her legacy, and potentially even the lives of other high-profile figures in her orbit. First, let's talk about the potential fallout for Whoopi herself. The timing of all this couldn't be worse. Over the years, she's managed to build a reputation as a bold, unfiltered voice in Hollywood and daytime television. But this raid has thrown her entire career into question. Can she continue to hold her seat at the View table, where she spent years dissecting everything from politics to pop culture, while she's under this kind of scrutiny? Some insiders are already speculating that producers at ABC might be reconsidering her position on the show.
I said something that I feel a responsibility for not leaving unexamined because my words upset so many people.
There's already chatter that advertisers and sponsors of The View are closely monitoring the situation, with some brands reportedly concerned about being associated with Whoopi Goldberg's name due to the cloud of suspicion now hanging over her. While no official action has been taken yet, these kinds of rumors often lead to bigger decisions in the future. Additionally, her influence extends beyond television, as she is a household name in Hollywood with iconic roles in films like The Color Purple and Sister Act. This controversy raises questions about whether her career in the film industry could also be at risk. Furthermore, as an outspoken activist who has championed causes from social justice to environmental issues, this situation could damage her credibility in those spaces. The public is now eagerly awaiting her response, hoping she will address the seriousness of the matter and provide some clarity. However, until she breaks her silence, speculation will only continue to grow.
Whoopi has to rest her ginormous mouth and bad attitude.
Now, let's pivot to the bigger picture, because this story isn't just about Whoopi Goldberg. The raid has opened the door to a much larger conversation about who else might be implicated. The Epstein saga has long been shrouded in mystery, with countless unanswered questions about the extent of his network and the identities of those involved. For years, there have been whispers of a so-called client list, a roster of powerful individuals who may have been connected to Epstein in one way or another. Could the evidence seized from Goldberg's estate finally provide some clarity on this front? Some insiders believe that the materials found during the raid could serve as a critical link in the ongoing investigation. There's even speculation that the FBI is now expanding its probe to include other figures in Hollywood and beyond. If that's true, Whoopi's estate might just be the first domino to fall. Imagine the ripple effect this could have, a potential Pandora's box of revelations that could expose not just individuals, but entire systems of complicity and cover-up. And let's be honest, Hollywood is no stranger to scandals that reveal the darker side of its glamorous facade. What's even more intriguing is the possibility that the evidence doesn't just implicate celebrities, but also organizations. Epstein's connections stretched far beyond entertainment, reaching into finance, politics, and philanthropy. If the materials seized from Goldberg's estate contain concrete links to these sectors, it could trigger a chain reaction.
I don't think anything's going to come up back because all these people are all connected. Judges,
That's
politicians.
Meanwhile, the media frenzy surrounding the raid has reached a fever pitch. News outlets are dedicating round-the-clock coverage to the story, dissecting every new piece of information and interviewing so-called experts to provide context. But, as with any high-profile scandal, the line between fact and speculation has become increasingly blurred. Some reports suggest that the evidence seized includes encrypted emails and private correspondence that could reveal shocking new details about Epstein's dealings. Others have floated the theory that Goldberg may have unknowingly come into possession of certain items that were passed down to her from a third.
He was forced. He didn't just bounce. He was forced to retire because they accused him, Pam Bondi, and all them, because he's hiding thousands of Why would this guy, an FBI agent, because mind you, Kash Patel's in, I think there's a misconception, Jillian, that people think that all the people that are in all of a sudden switched and now they're pro-Trump and they're pro-this agenda.
Social media, of course, has been a hotbed of discussion. The hashtags related to Whoopi Goldberg and Epstein have been trending nonstop, with users from all walks of life weighing in on the drama. Some have taken a sympathetic stance, arguing that Goldberg is being unfairly targeted and that the raid could be a case of mistaken identity or an overreach by law enforcement. Others, however, have been far less forgiving, calling for her immediate removal from the view and demanding answers about her potential involvement. The debate has become so heated that it's even sparked conversations about cancel culture and the fine line between accountability and public shaming. And then there's the question of how this will affect Goldberg's relationships within the entertainment industry. Hollywood is a small world, and reputations can rise or fall overnight. Will her peers stand by her during this challenging time, or will they distance themselves to protect their own careers? So far, the responses have been mixed. Some of Goldberg's longtime friends and collaborators have publicly expressed their support, describing her as a person of integrity who would never...
That means those same people are still in charge and they're still protecting each other. And James Comey's daughter, guys, you guys all remember who James Comey is, the Trump-hating, Hillary Clinton covering-up guy. His daughter is the assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, where all these documents are. So as much as these people are promising us, I still, Vincent Oshana, don't think.
One particularly interesting angle is the role of Goldberg's co-hosts on The View. The show thrives on its panelists' ability to tackle controversial topics, but how will they handle this situation when it hits so close to home? Will they address the raid on air, or will they steer clear of the topic altogether? Either way, their response, or lack thereof, will speak volumes about the dynamics within the group and the broader implications for the show's future. As for the legal implications, those remain murky at best. The FBI has not yet made any official statements about the nature of the evidence or what it could mean for Goldberg and others who may be implicated. However, legal experts have pointed out that the mere act of conducting a raid of this scale suggests that law enforcement believes the evidence is significant. If charges are eventually brought against Goldberg or anyone else connected to the materials, it could set off a legal battle that...
So there's a number of things that could be redacted. The first thing that you're going to be thinking about is confidential information as to survivors' names, addresses, and other identifiers. Redactions can be as specific as that, or they can be generalized. And you're usually either working under some type of confidentiality agreement, some type of statute, some type of code.
And let's not forget the unresolved questions that continue to linger. What exactly was the FBI looking for when they raided Goldberg's estate? How did the materials end up in her possession in the first place? And perhaps most importantly, what does this mean for the broader Epstein investigation? The answers to these questions could reshape our understanding of one of the most infamous scandals of our time. As the dust settles on this bombshell revelation, the world is left with more questions than answers. Could Whoopi Goldberg's legacy survive this storm? And how far does this web of secrets extend? Who else might be implicated? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going as we await the next chapter in this unfolding drama. Until then, stay tuned and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.